Hey y'all, it is Shawnti Refuge, mental health coach, speaker, author of the best-selling book Quiet is Kept, and founder of Shawnti Refuge Journals. So every weekday this month, this is May, Mental Health Awareness Month, we are going to have a conversation that centers our peace, our healing, our right to rest and reclaim ourselves. So if you've ever felt like you're drowning in responsibility and no one is checking on you to see if you're okay, then this is for you. So let's get into it. So let's go ahead and tell the truth. A lot of us were taught that mental health care is something you get to think about when everything is handled. When I say that, I mean after the bills are paid, after the kids are okay, after the house is clean, your spouse is satisfied, the world is at ease. And then maybe you can sit down and check in on yourself. But let me tell you that Black people are 20% more likely to experience serious psychological distress than our white counterparts. And we're half as likely to receive treatment. And do you know why that is? Because we've been conditioned to survive and not to heal, especially if you're a parent. The world expects you to do it all, be the provider, the nurturer, the peacemaker, the disciplinarian, the counselor. And if you're Black, you also have to be the protector from racism, from the school system, from harm, even from generational trauma that you're still trying to untangle yourself. And that kind of emotional labor, baby, it chips away at your spirit. So mental health care is not a luxury. It is not a self-care day. It's a lifeline. I will never forget the day that I realized I was just existing. I had been pushing through everything, showing up to work, leading in my business, making dinner, helping with the homework, being a wife. But something in me just felt empty. It was like I was running, but I didn't have a destination to run to. And, one night, one of my babies asked me the simplest question that just like cracked me right, wide open. And, she looked at me and say, Mommy, are you happy? And baby, I would never forget that moment because I had to lie. You know, I just said, yeah, baby, I'm fine. Knowing good and damn well that I wasn't. I was exhausted. I was resentful. I had become disconnected. Real talk. I realized I had been so focused on being everything to everyone. I hadn't stopped to check in on me in years, not days. I said years. I didn't even know what I liked anymore. I didn't know what joy felt like. I was performing motherhood, but I wasn't living as a whole woman. And that's when I picked up my journal, and not the Dear Diary, not that kind of journal. And I started asking myself some real ass questions like, why am I so angry? And why do I feel invisible? Who do I get to be when no one's asking for anything from me? Because that's all I felt like. Like anytime anybody encountered me, whether it was family, friends, colleagues, whoever, they wanted something. That's the only time they would talk to me. Like, how someone would say, hey, how you doing? My response would be, you don't care how I'm doing, what you want? That would be my response because that's how I felt. And 9 times out of 10, that's what it was. That was just the pleasantry before they start begging for shit. So, and every answer led me closer to myself. So, maybe you're watching this and you're already nodding, or I didn't made you laugh, or maybe you've been running on autopilot too. Ooh, I got to sneeze. Yeah. Ooh, excuse me. I'm speaking some kind of truth here. So maybe you have been showing up for everyone, but you can't remember the last time you checked in on yourself without guilt. So I want to pause. I want you to pause and ask, when was the last time I cared for myself like someone I love? If my child asked me if I was happy, what would my answer be? And let that sit for a moment. So if you're someone who's trying to reconnect with yourself, here's your journaling prompt for today. What would change in my life if I treated my mental health like a priority instead of an afterthought? And I want you to be honest. I want you to write without censoring. You don't have to share it. You just need to hear yourself again. And you can start by writing it. If journaling feels hard for you, don't worry. I got you. I created a guided journal I created a self-paced course to teach you how to do guided journaling, and it's called Guided Journaling 101. And it walks you through the exact kinds of questions that you need to answer. It shows you how to journal. I give you prompts. I talk to you. It's just self-paced. You do it whenever you feel like it, because sometimes we don't even know where to start, and that's why prompts matter. And so if this video hit you in your chest and you're tired of feeling like you're barely making it emotionally, I want to invite you to a few things I've built with you in mind. I have guided journals on my website, and there are different topics for different, series in your life. Like if you are going through self-esteem, you want to, have improve your self-esteem, you want to become more aware, self-aware, or you want to find out who the hell you are. I have guided journals for that. So go and look on my website. Look at all the collections I have, and if something is sticking out to you, get it, girl. And if you don't know which one would benefit you, I'm always a DM or an email away. Or you can comment under this video. I have a support group for mothers who have been estranged from their children, whether they are minors or adults. It's called Mothering in the Dark. And, it's for you if you're parenting while navigating loss, estrangement, trauma, or just pure overwhelm. I offer one-on-one coaching for people who need a space to be seen, supported, and held accountable for their healing. I'm your girl. So you can find all of that on ShawntiRefuge.com. And I want you to know that if you're not ready to book anything, start with the free resources. I just need you to start somewhere. I do have free resources on my site. You have no excuse to not start on your healing. And I want to leave you with this. You don't have to earn rest. You don't have to be broken to deserve help. And you are already worthy of care. Not just as a parent or a spouse or an employee, but as a person. So I'll be back for day 2. And then until then, I need you to take a deep breath and know that you are not alone in this. And if today's message resonated, drop a comment, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone you love. Your healing is not selfish, it's sacred. See you next time.